The NCW Life
And due to circumstances beyond my control, we're back. It is the 5th day of June, 2024. It's the Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. It is Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. And we don't have that cool little 10-second video anymore. We don't know what happened to it. But we are having the time of our life. Winning Wednesday, for the last time, I got a family 4-pack to see the Harlem Globe Trotters. Their world tour comes to the Town Toyota Center on Father's Day. That would be Sunday, June 16th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Harlem Globetrotters coming to the big city, and we got 4 really good seats. They're $30 a pop, so that's like a $120 retail value. I'm not good with math. I can't even balance my own checkbook. You want to see the Harlem Globetrotters for free? Doesn't cost you a dime. Enter winner at ncwlife.com. That is the email address, winner@ncwlife.com. I think you know the rules and regulations by now. Employees of local telecommunications, solely broadcast, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Alicia. And that's about it. Oh, 1 entry per email address. Can't forget about that. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once. You just can't enter over and over and over and over again on the same email address, because I get all of those and it ticks me off. Send me an email. Winner at ncwlife.com. We'll pull 1 winner out of the hat. They'll win 4 tickets to see the Harlem Globetrotters as their world tour comes to Wenatchee on Sunday, June 16th. 52 degrees outside. We're done with the wind, thank goodness. So the wind and the below normal temperatures and the wind and the wind and the wind, God, 86. We start warming up. Sunny and beautiful today. We will call it borderline warm on Thursday and downright hot by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Big dome of high pressure is going to start building up in intensity. It's basically over the 4 corners, and it's going to just cook the entire western third of these United States, including our area. Forecast details are coming up. News will have the latest on the fire. It's pretty much contained now. All the evacuation levels have been backed off. They got on it real quick. It was pretty nervous, though, for a lot of folks in that area. The wind and dry grass, not a good match, but we'll have the latest in that. Sports, Mariners win, Apple Sox win. Mariners, pretty easy. Apple Sox dramatically. And in the back half of the program, my conversation with Trish Blevins. We love Trish. She runs Mobile Meals. That's the folks who run hot lunches out to the folks who can't get out of their homes for whatever reason. It's in cooperation with our friends at Confluence Health, Central Washington Hospital. They have a big fundraiser. Mobile Meals does. It is this Sunday, featuring Glad Song, featuring the mellifluous voice of Trish Blevins. Trish will be my guest in the back half of the program. Let's do our tour around the valley. We always begin with the Wenatchee Heights camera. And again, the Columbia River is running a little high and a little cold, and it will be for a while yet. In fact, we have some cold water safety tips, because everybody is going to be drawn to the water like moths to a candlelight with the heat coming up. And you can see the Columbia River's up there pretty good. Well, of course, obviously, there's still some snow melting in the upper elevations. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Good morning to a live shot of the fire. Well, it's not burning anymore, but that's a pretty spectacular shot there. That's from our Rock Island camera. It's a great deal. We just turn it right around and boom, we have a great shot of the fire. That's Batterman Road, I believe, right down below you. The fire is, again, contained. We'll have the latest when we get to the news. That's a live shot from our Rock Island camera, turned around, pointing back towards the fire. That is Rocky Reach Dam, which is just sitting there cranking out electricity. Lake Antioch behind that from our Omi. We call it the Omi Garden camera. It's not really in Omi Gardens. In fact, it's about a half a mile north of Omi Gardens, but it's still a spectacular view there. Good morning to Rocky Reach Dam, doing its voodoo that it do so well. And speaking of a big body of water, how about Lake Wenatchee? Spectacular view there. Oh, look, there's Bigfoot. Can you see Bigfoot right there? Right down there in the upper left-hand corner, if you can see that? That's Bigfoot. Wow, Sasquatch. A rare sighting there. Good morning to our friends at Lake Wenatchee. We're done with the wind. Here comes the heat. It's going to be a gradual warming trend. Today will be mid-70s, maybe upper 70s, but probably mid-70s today. Then we're going to be into the 80s for sure on Thursday. By Friday, we'll be kissing the 90s on Friday. It's going to be rather warm and perhaps uncomfortable Friday night at Leib-Off to Field at the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises, so be prepared. Bring lots of water on Friday night. You're going to need it. Hotter still Saturday, then we cool down a little bit on Sunday. A weak weather system comes in Saturday night into Sunday. That's going to bring temperatures down a little bit, but we have an increasing chance of a thunderstorm. We mentioned this rather sudden heat wave because we haven't had one yet this year. People are going to want to go get wet. Well, the water is still cold, folks. That's pretty simple, and it doesn't really matter how good of a swimmer you are. If it's really, really hot and you jump into really cold water, you can get in over your head real quick. So just a quick reminder that the rivers and lakes are cold, and especially the rivers and the streams are running high and they're running fast. You could get into serious trouble real quick like. So here's an idea. Use common sense. There. Got that out of the way. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Sunshine today, high of 78, almost no wind at all. We still have a little bit of wind right now. It's not much. It's going to die down as the morning progresses, and by the afternoon we'll be done with the wind. 52 for the overnight low. Here we go. 87 on Thursday, lower 90s anyway on Friday. Saturday, 93. Again, little bit of a cool down on Sunday as this weak weather system kind of bumps up against the ridge. Then it moves out of alignment and another ridge builds up, and we'll be right back to close to 90-degree highs by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. And according to Grant, he says we could be in for a long stretch of sunny and hot weather, kind of sort of starting tomorrow. That's the weather forecast. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll let you know what's making news on this Wednesday morning. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Let's go! Put your hands together for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just basketball, people. This is where what just happened happens all the time. Don't miss the Harlem Globetrotters 2024 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs at Town Toyota Center on June 16th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carey bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Quite a bit of sunshine, still a little wind out there. It'll be dying down anyway. We're going to be in the upper 70s for the afternoon high. It's going to be nice and pleasant, but not too hot. It's going to get hot, starting especially tomorrow and right on into the weekend. It's 9 minutes after the hour. We have a live shot of what was a pretty hair-raising situation for folks who live in the general area of this fire. Apparently, it began somewhere near the area of the Greater Wenatchee Regional Landfill. It quickly grew to 3 alarms. That's a live shot. Boy, it was pretty hairy yesterday. It started out at 15 acres. It quickly got going from there and eventually topped out at 60 acres. It is all but contained now. But for a while there, folks on Batterman Road, Anderson Lane, Keene Grade Road, and Sageland Road, they were under level 2 evacuations. That's the situation there at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. All the evacuation levels now have been knocked down to nothing, according to Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett. The fire is all but contained now. It's not officially out, but it is contained. A lot of people came to work on this. They had folks from the Bureau of Land Management helped mobilize the fire. Obviously, the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, they had helicopter drops. Right now, things are quiet and benign, and it's only June, and we're not even really into fire season yet. We'll have more on this fire tonight at 5 o'clock. In other news this morning, a 61-year-old Yakima man is going to serve 7.5 years in prison for importing fentanyl to sell here in the Wenatchee Valley. John William Wilkins pleaded guilty Monday to narcotics possession and distribution. He was arrested after a Columbia River Drug Task Force operation last fall observed Wilkins dealing fentanyl and found him transporting 120 pills and just under 5 ounces of methamphetamine. Wilkins has multiple prior drug felonies. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira sentenced him on Tuesday to 90 months in prison, plus a year of community custody. The 18-year-old East Wenatchee man accused of graffiti and gunfire at Lee Elementary School, now formally charged in the crime. This happened a couple of days ago. Douglas County prosecutors filing charges against Enrique Agustin Torres. The counts: unlawful firearm possession, malicious mischief. East Wenatchee police say Torres is one of 2 people seen on surveillance video leaving gang markings on portable classrooms at Lee and also discharging a handgun. The incident took place at about 2 o'clock in the morning back on May 17th. No children were present. Police allegedly later found a pistol modified to fully automatic mode in Torres' home. He remains held in the Chelan County bail on a $75,000 bond. His accomplice has not been located. A lot of people attended the meet and greet on Monday evening with the 3 candidates to become Wenatchee's new police chief. Captains Brian Chance and Edgar Reinfeld have been with the Wenatchee Police Department for quite some time. Former Denton, Texas Police Chief Doug Shoemaker is the 3rd applicant, and all of them talked about why they should be picked to replace Chief Crown, who's retiring.
We have a lot of concerns in our community, and they're right in our face all the time. We are working to address those at all times. But the principles under which I work and that matter to me is that, first of all, we guarantee the rights of everybody. We can't just guarantee the rights of one group for the sake of the rights of somebody else. And in 2020, when we had protests, it kind of really crystallized in my head, talking to some people involved and say, I can't violate their rights, so you feel free to exercise your rights. And as I worked on that argument with a number of people calling and complaining, it really worked, and it came to help other people understand and see what our role is as a department. So wherever we can take action for issues like homelessness, our drug problem, where I work with the Columbia River Drug Task Force right now as their commander for the Wenatchee PD side, we need to do all that we can within our legal authority to address these issues and to try to protect and prevent further damage in our community. But at the same time, we have to watch out for the things that not only add liability to a department or a city, something I'm not averse to. I'm all about walking to the edge and seeing what we can do, but at the same time not exceeding that and getting ourselves in a trouble spot.
Currently at the Wenatchee Police Department, we have a very healthy culture and we're a high functioning department, but we can always improve. I want to build an environment of approachability where the open door concept isn't just a concept, but all of our employees feel like they can truly take advantage of it and it is a reality for them. We have great staff that has great ideas, and I want to work with all of them to push this agency forward into the future and find solutions to the problems that we're facing in our department or even in our community. And I want to foster a culture where every employee in the Wenatchee Police Department feels that they have a part and a vested interest, a personal stake in where we are headed and what we accomplish. Hiring right now is a real challenge in law enforcement. I want to see us focus young and focus locally. We need to start engaging youth and humanizing law enforcement with our youth. We need to help our youth identify a good path to take, a successful path to take. We need to help them learn how to make good decisions now so that later on, the decisions that they make when they're young don't have a negative impact on their ability to be successful in the future.
We've been to this area a few times on vacation and fell in love with it because of all the beauty of the place, the way it feels and the way it makes you feel, and quite frankly, the friendliness of the community. Add on top of that, the reputation of your police organization. And I will tell you folks, I work with a lot of organizations across the country through the International Police Chiefs. Your organization is doing it right. You should be proud of that, because not everybody is. And if you're from the community and you're here, you should feel really proud of your police department. Doesn't mean there are things to improve upon, but you've got a great foundation and you've had a lot of success, and that's not easily earned. Dealing with issues of COVID and protests and unrest and people changing so much after 2020, it's difficult to try and continue to lead forward, but you push forward because if you're like me, you look at the women and men that do the job on the daily, no matter if it's sworn or professional staff members, and you take pride in those victories. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Police chief should absolutely celebrate those successes, everyday successes, that the women and men of the police department do. And sometimes we don't do a really good job of that. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies in that we don't tell our story well enough at all. And we've got to do a better job of talking about those things.
And by the way, comments from the public is more than welcome. You can email the City of Wenatchee's HR department, but you got to do it by the end of the week. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority is going to have a little get-together next week. They're going to have groundbreaking ceremonies. Well, the ground has already been broken for the Trades District project. The ceremonies are going to be next week, of course, at the former Gigawatt campus near Pangbourne Memorial Airport. They want new incubator spaces for new businesses, especially recruiting Latino businesses. The groundbreaking event is going to be at 11 a.m. on June 13th. Attendees will hear remarks from the CEO of the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority, Jim Kuntz, and other key project participants. But you got to RSVP to get there, and you got to do that by June 7th, and you can do it by emailing the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority. And finally, Chelan County's brush drop-off yard outside of Leavenworth is going to move to limited hours, just 2 Fridays a month. County Public Works Director Eric Pearson says the site has received an average of just 2 customers an hour, so it's operating at a loss despite a $25 minimum drop-off charge. The brush yard on East Leavenworth Road will have its next open date on June 13th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and again on June 28th. Because of Washington's apple maggot quarantine, residents in Leavenworth and most of the western part of Chelan County are prohibited from taking their green waste to the nearest transfer station, which is in Dryden. Brush and yard waste inside the quarantine area can also be taken to the Winton Manufacturing Compost Works out there in Coles Corner. And that's what's making news at 17 minutes after the hour. If you think it's important to know what the heck is going on around here, we have a little show. It used to be called What the Heck is Going On Around Here? Then we changed it to the news, which seems more appropriate. The news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on television. If you want to, you can consume your news right around 5 o'clock by going to our website. Our news will be up and running, ncwlife.com. It'll be on our Facebook page, our YouTube page. We got Instagram, we got X, we have an app. Pick up the phone and snap away, and you'll have the app right there on your phone. If something out there you think is newsworthy, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners beat Oakland in front of a partial sellout. Highlights are next with sports. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Check out clubprocashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Sports at 20 minutes after the hour. George Kirby had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, and that's good because he pitches for the Mariners. We'd like that. Mariners beat Oakland 4-3 on 4-2, I should say, on Tuesday night. Coming off a 6-1 homestand, Seattle has now won 4 straight and 8 of 9.
That will get it done. A slicing drive deep into the gap. Everybody runs. JP walks home. Here comes Josh right behind him. Ty France ringing a bell, doing Ty France things. A 2-run double, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Ty with his 9th double. RBI's 25 to 26. A good sign, to say the least. 2-2. Hitting hard. That is a fair ball. That's going to work. Really making a turn. The big man's going to hustle to second with an RBI double. The Mariners have a 3-0 lead. Nicely done.
That is the 4th double in this inning.
Yes, indeed. Right down the line.
Right down the line. Looked like the first baseman had a play on it, but he gets past him.
Continue the inning with a knock. 1-1, inside out swing, floater into left center field. That's going to drop down. Geloff rounds third. He will score, and another RBI for Abraham Toro. He tallies the first A's run. It's 3-1 Seattle.
Well, you can see the look of befuddlement on the face of George Kirby. He's asking, how does this ball not get caught? Kirby just beside himself.
Goes on deck. He's 1 for 2. If Josh could this inning move on. It's hit hard and knocked away and throws it away. Run scores. 4-1 Mariners. Base hit E6. 3-hit night for Rojas.
Throw one into the dugout, so he'll get second base. Goes to knock it down, and it goes right to the shortstop, but he rushes his throw. Would have been a close play.
Yeah, if Schulman threw it away. So Rojas
scoring position with nobody out. That's grounded to short. Crawford won't have a play at the plate. Langoliers drives in the second A's run. It's now 4-2. Rooker has to stay put at second, but the A's do get another run.
Big spot. First pitch. Wow, gets by. Here comes a run to play at the plate. He is safe. Under to second, Cameron. Oh, my goodness.
Here's a slider that gets away from him. Cal's not able to get to it. That could have been an ankle or a knee or all kinds of problems. You know, they have the trainer and Scott Service heading out to the mound.
It looked like a good push off there.
I think he's
trying to gut it out.
I don't think so.
Ay. Cruising till now. 3-2. Pitch some sauce. Come back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Gonna run it over, little bowling shot. Yes, sir. Mariners get this win. They survive. 4-3 Mariners. Their 8th win in the last 9. Their 5th win in the last 13 on the road. They pick up a full game on Texas, which lost at home to Detroit.
Afterwards, manager Scott Service, who, by the way, celebrated his 57th birthday yesterday. Scott Service says George Kirby had his good stuff, and he needed it against the Athletics.
They really battled with George tonight, and I got the pitch count up there. I thought George's stuff was really good. There was just no easy outs. They were battling through, fouling balls off, created some traffic against them. I thought he made some huge pitches to get out of it. Tried to get a little bit more in the 6th, but, they were on him. Thought Austin both huge 3 outs for us in the 6th inning from there, and then the other guys in the bullpen after that did their job. Obviously Mooney's got a little issue going on with his low back when he had the plate. The plate certainly didn't help things there, so he didn't feel he's 100%, so he had to go to Sauce, and Sauce found a way like he normally does. So everybody chipping in out of the bullpen tonight. It wasn't clean. I got to give Oakland a ton of credit. They had a lot of really good at-bats, drew some walks, put a lot of pressure on us. But end of the day, you got to find a way to win. and it may not always be pretty, but our guys did a great job tonight, just kind of grinding through.
By the way, the Mariners and the Athletics play again tonight. Logan Gilbert will take on Joey Estes. First pitch is at 6:40. And if you live in the Bay Area, by the way, good seats still available. Your scoreboard for the American League West, they got another game on the Rangers, who lost to the Tigers 3-1. Astros knocked off the Cardinals 8-4. The Angels knocked off the Padres 4-2. West Coast League Baseball, there's an old adage in sports. It's not a how, it's how many. For the Wenatchee Apple Sox last night, they pulled out a remarkable win in Port Angeles. Wait till you hear the details. With a wrap-up, here's Stormman Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to defeat the Port Angeles Lefties 6-5 on Tuesday night at Civic Field. Wenatchee's first road game of the season didn't quite go completely the way they wanted, as they committed 4 errors in this game, but they rallied back in the 9th inning. All 9 men came to the plate. The Apple Sox did not collect a base hit in the 9th inning, but 4 walks, a hit by pitch, an error, and 2 wild pitches helped Wenatchee earn the victory in the series opener. The Sox improved to 4-0 in West Coast League action and win the season series against the Lefties, with 2 games remaining in it the next couple of days. Wenatchee takes on Port Angeles again on Wednesday night with first pitch at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. To the scoreboard we go for the West Coast League. Obviously, the Apple Sox win, rather improbably. When Yakima Valley just beat Springfield. They can crush them. Edmonton crushed Ridgefield 13-4. Kelowna over Victoria. It was Kamloops defeating Bellingham just by a run. Nanaimo knocked off Cowlitz. Corvallis crushing Bend in a big way. And it's been raining cats and dogs in Portland. The Pickles have already played baseball this year. Their game against Walla Walla rained out again. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this 5th day of June, I could have chosen President's Day in Equatorial Guinea. You don't want to live there, by the way. The guy who's been president for like 50 years, and they have a lot of oil, and he just keeps it. It's a National Gingerbread Day. It's National Veggie Burger Day. It's Hot Air Balloon Day. It's National Sausage Roll Day. It's National Co-working Day. We're not doing any of those things. Today is National Running Day today. How many people worldwide run for exercise daily? About 620 million, they think. There are some countries and some locations where people run not for exercise, but that's their basic mode of transportation, is running. The highest proportion of runners, believe it or not, are in the Czech Republic and France. The Czech Republic and France has the highest number of people who actually run on a regular basis. And the country with the fastest marathon runners in the world, and I thought this was kind of interesting, is Switzerland. The average marathon runner in Switzerland can run a marathon in about 3.5 hours. I, for one, get tired driving 26 miles. And by the way, if anybody sees me running, that means somebody's chasing me. Happy National Running Day. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, well, World War I, if we're going to fight World War I and put the kibosh on the Kaiser, we need troops. And so today is draft day for World War I. By the guidelines that was set down, all males between the age of 21 to 30 were required to register to potentially be drafted. Then a year later, they expanded the age range from 18 to 45. By the end of World War I, 2 million men had volunteered, and almost 3 million men had been drafted. You can't win a war without troops, and so they started drafting troops on this date in 1917. 56 years ago today, Robert Francis Kennedy, shot by Sirhan Sirhan in the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel just after giving a speech. He won the California Democratic primary. He said, "It's on to Chicago, let's win there." He was walking through the kitchen. Here is a contemporary news report from the evening on this date in 1968. Frank Reynolds and ABC News.
Senator Robert F. Kennedy, who won the California primary last night, had just completed making his victory speech in the ballroom of the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. He then started to move out to return to his suite when he was shot. And the crowd begins to break up. The cheers, of course, start. You'll be able to hear that first shot in just a moment. As you will see, very few people had any understanding of what it meant.
Hey, wait. Hey, I want to hear really loud.
There it is. That was the first shot. The crowd continues to move away, heading for the doors there of the ballroom. As the first screams, somebody has realized what has taken place. Listen for the other shots. Watch this young girl put her hand to her face.
Kennedy was hit 3 times, including once point blank right behind his right ear. He never regained consciousness. He died 25 hours later. The Teton Dam in eastern Idaho, an earthen dam being filled for the very first time. After they completed the dam, the water was diverted and they closed off the diversions to fill up the Teton Dam for the reservoir, an earthen dam in Idaho, and well, here's what happened.
As I sit here and watch, you see it caving. It's just coming apart.
At 11:57 a.m. on June 5th, 1976, the Teton Dam collapsed, flooding homes, farms in the upper Snake River Valley with 80 billion gallons of water.
Holy, great. What can I say? People downstream better get out. People downstream better get out.
An end report from an aircraft in the vicinity of Sugar City. The wall of water is approximately 5 to 6 miles wide and is moving buildings and everything out of its way. There are cattle in the front that don't have a chance, and suggests that all the people that are anywhere near the river at all get out of the way.
Though the warnings came late, and it was difficult to convince many people the dam indeed had burst, the timing of the flood in the middle of the day prevented mass deaths, and most residents were evacuated to higher ground where they watched the eerie occurrence of houses and belongings floating away. Some 220,000 acre-feet of water roared through the huge gouge of the Teton Dam that unforgettable Saturday morning. The water spread its destruction as fast as a mile a minute in the areas of Wilford and Sugar City. As it cut a swath of destruction 7 miles wide, the water's level reached from 8 to 10 feet in height. The results? Over $1 billion worth of damage. Destruction to 4,000 homes, wiping out 250 businesses and 3,500 farm buildings. 11 human deaths. The killing of 13,000 head of livestock and stripping topsoil from 100,000 acres of rich farmland.
It is remarkable that only 11 people were killed, but 13,000 heads of cattle. By the way, there's been talk of rebuilding the dam. The folks downriver aren't too interested in that. That was on This Date 1976. An interesting article came out 43 years ago today on This Date 1981. It was the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, and they said there's some sort of very strange pneumonia-type virus going around in the Los Angeles area. We can't quite put our finger on it. 5 people have this bizarre form of pneumonia. It's severely weakened their immune system. They didn't know it at the time, but it was the first recognized cases of AIDS in this country. I was on This Date in 1981. And this is the 35th anniversary of Tank Man. With all the democracy they were trying to establish in Beijing, of course, they weren't having any of that. You remember this guy, Tank Man? Nobody knows who the guy is. There's no reliable information about who exactly the Tank Man was or his fate. The Chinese authorities know. They obviously ain't saying. Also, nobody even knows the story of the crew of the tank that decided to drive around tank man. At least one witness says that there were more than one tank men out there, people standing in front of the tanks to keep them from rolling into Tiananmen Square, but he was the only one who actually got caught on video. Tank man on this date in 1989. That takes some chutzpah. Couple of birthdays. If your name is Kenny Gorlick and you're going to be an international jazz star, you change your name to Kenny G, and that's what Kenny G did. His real name is Ken Gorlick. His 6th studio album, Breathless, came out when I had the record store in downtown Wenatchee. That was in 1982. It's still the biggest selling instrumental album of all time. Kenny G doesn't do much of anything anymore. He's a bazillionaire, so he just plays golf. He's a scratch golfer. Whenever they have these celebrity pro-am golf tournaments, everybody wants to pick Kenny G because he's a really good golfer. And one of the reasons he doesn't have to work anymore, he was one of the initial capital investors with Howard Schultz and a new company he started called Starbucks. Kenny G gave him some money. Kenny G doing good. He's 68. And Mark Wahlberg is 53 years old today. Somebody needs to tell him. Special thanks to our friends, our platinum sponsors. That would be Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. You saw the forecast, going to get hot. Have Alpine Air get their butts out to your HVAC to make sure it's going to handle the heat. That's coming in a couple of days. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, the main campus in Wenatchee, and their satellite campus in East Wenatchee. And special thanks to our super duper fun time sponsors, Pool to Spa Services, celebrating 35 years. If you've been in business 35 years, you know what you're doing. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. And then Trish Blevins will be my guest. She handles mobile meals in Wenatchee. She's also a member of GladSong, and these two organizations are getting together on Sunday. Trish, with my interview when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
I moved here 6 years ago. The manager here asked me what I like to do, and I told him that I like to play games, I like to play cards. And he said, "Boy, have I got a woman for you to meet." And he introduced me to her, and we walked down the hall, and I took her hand, and we've never let go of each other.
Life is so good when you're happy, and I'm very happy at Prestige.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, a political personality, a man suspected of planning on running for president, is selling Bibles. Okay, all right, a little look. I'm a fan of the Bible. I read some of it almost every day, and I do try, with limited success, I admit, to follow Jesus' teachings. But are we really expected to believe that this politician cum Bible salesman's motive is anything less than pandering to curry the favor of evangelicals? I mean, come on, gosh. Look, vote for the guy if you want to. But believing the shameless move with Bible sales is anything more than a brazen attempt to manipulate people is ridiculous. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
When it comes to plumbing, you are likely not the expert. Call After Hours Plumbing. When your laundry room is just a little too tight and you need to expand or remodel, call After Hours Plumbing. Or your hot water heater needs replacing so everyone can have hot water? Call After Hours Plumbing, your local plumbing contractor ready for your home remodels or your commercial business.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. I'm gonna go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up here. Time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Welcome back to the program. If you haven't made plans on Sunday, the 9th of this month, congratulations, you just did, because you're going to be heading to the Grace Lutheran Church on Washington Street in Wenatchee to listen to the Glad Song Community Choir do the voodoo that they do so well to benefit my friend Trish and our friends at Mobile Meals. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Dan. Thanks for coming out again. I know when I call you or email you, you're good to respond right away, and we set up a date. And here we are, so thank you so much.
It probably wasn't, you probably didn't have to pull strings or really work hard to get the Glad Song Community Choir to benefit your organization, because you're in the damn choir.
That is so true. I have an interest in that too. So I seem to be have an interest in nonprofits and serving folks. So yes, very excited to be able to actually sing and perform in Mobile Meals' fundraiser.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts, again, it's this Sunday at the Grace Lutheran Church on Washington Street in Wenatchee. By donation, and some other stuff.
Right.
How did you get involved in Glad Song? Have you been a part of it since it was launched, what, about 4 years ago now?
Actually, no. It had been going for a few months. They started during COVID.
I remember that.
Right. So once we found out that our friend Tim was the director, and we actually have a relative that was already singing in it. So yeah, we started hanging out with them, and it just caught on. So yeah, it's a passion of mine and my husband Bruce also.
Yeah, Bruce has been on the show. He was on the show a couple months ago.
Right.
We went down to the bunker to see the crew down there.
Yeah, good folks down there.
Yep. And you guys just do this Glad Song just because it's fun. A bunch of folks getting together singing songs.
It's fun. It's joyful, and it's its own community. So it's our passion. So we like being able to help others. All proceeds for whatever nonprofit we're performing for, all proceeds go to that nonprofit. Glad Song never charges anything.
And not only do you put on a good show, you brought in some big crowds. I've seen some photos of some of your shows.
Yeah.
The folks come.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a little popular, and there's actually a few folks that follow us from show to show now. So that's great too. That sparks an interest.
Would you like to do more shows if you had the time? These are all most of the people in Glad Song Community Choir. They're working. You know, they have other things to do. You guys can only get together on Sunday nights to rehearse.
Right.
Do you parcel out your performances little by little, but you don't want to get too big?
So that's true. So we can easily handle about 2 or 3 performances a month. I think 2 is kind of what our director, Tim, would like to stay at.
How do you keep the material fresh for Glad Song, making sure you're not doing the same songs with every show?
Right. So a few times a year, new material is introduced into, and as soon as we learn it, we put it in our shows. Does
Tim take suggestions from the members of the choir? We should add this song or take this one out?
He has. So if there's an older song that's been there since the inception, he'll take that out, rotate that out, and obviously rotate in the new ones.
But there's always crowd pleasers, songs that you're going to do at every show because people just like them.
Oh, yes. If they can sing along with them, as you can imagine, if they can sing along with that song, they love that song.
Do people do that? Do they find themselves singing unconsciously?
Oh, yeah.
You guys get into a number and you're 16, 20 bars in, and before you know it, everybody's singing?
Oh, yeah. Clapping, and we love audience participation. And there's actually a song, Lean on Me, that we have them help us do about 4 measures afterwards. And they get a kick out of that.
The Bill Withers classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Mobile Meals. 53, 54 years old now, Mobile Meals?
Yes, since 1971.
You have a staff of 1.5. It's you, and then when you go on vacation or take some time off, you have somebody who comes in.
I do. I have a wonderful assistant, Susie Pitts, that helps me, and she actually she donates all of her time. She donates IT work also. So if I can't figure something else out, I call Susie, and she is good to come in and help.
For such a bare bones group, it's you, it's Susie, and your volunteer drivers. All of them volunteers. They pay for their gas.
Yes.
They pay for their insurance. They're not getting a dime.
Donate their time.
It's amazing how successful this is, considering you guys are just, you're there without a real budget of any kind.
Right.
In that respect.
Right. The drivers deliver because they want to. So it's kind of like when you have a job that you enjoy, you like to go to work. They don't even really see it as work. They just come and enjoy. And a lot of the drivers have the same routes, so they build up a rapport with the same recipients. They're here because they want to be here. So that's super.
And I believe you've told me in years past, you've had volunteers who were drivers for years and years, and now they're customers, so to speak. They're kind of clients.
Sometimes it works into that. So that's fun too. I love to hear those stories.
We're in Tricia's lovely and spatial office here in the basement of the Confluence Health main Wenatchee campus here.
Yes.
And no Confluence Health, this doesn't happen because they're the ones who are preparing the food, packaging the food, and getting it to you, who then get it out to the general public.
Yes, that's true. I have about 20-25 minutes in the kitchen Monday through Friday that I dish up the food, and they usually provide a helper so I can get out on time because they have to get ready for lunch right after that. So Confluence Health, our office space, our utilities, they provide free labor to put the sides together, which might be a salad or dessert or fruit. So we wouldn't be here without Confluence
And they don't have
Health.
to do it. They just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yes, yes. Mobile Meals has partnered with a form of a hospital. Started out with St. Anthony's, that morphed into Rosewood, that has morphed into what we now know as Central Washington Hospital, which is part of Confluence Health.
The Mobile Meals, how do people land on your radar? They have a medical procedure, and the doctor says you're going to be immobile here for a month or so while you recover from this procedure. Here's Tricia's email. How do people land on your radar to become clients of Mobile Meals?
Right. So there's a couple different ways. So your instance might be because of medical support staff here in the Valley. We get traffic from our website. If they might type in Wenatchee Mills or whatever, it usually funnels right into mobilemillsofwenatchee.org. I've gotten several recipient applications that way too. I've gotten just phone calls. What are you guys? What do you do? Would this work for my mom and dad? Would this work for me? So yeah, there's a few ways that people can come at us.
Do people get confused between mobile meals and Meals on Wheels? It probably happens all the time.
All the time. I mean, who wouldn't? Both of them have the word meals in it.
Yeah.
So if somebody is outside of our service area, I always give them excuse me, I can't say it right, Meals on Wheels' phone number. So yes, yeah. So
what is your service area? What is your footprint?
So yeah, good question. Wenatchee area is Wenatchee Bridge to Mission View School. East Wenatchee area is the river up to Union Street, which is just about the airport. And then 31st Street over to 8th Street Southeast.
Because the meals that you send out, lunches, are warm. I mean, they need to stay warm.
They're hot and fresh. That's why we don't have a huge service area, such as Meals on Wheels can.
Right.
So it's wonderful that they can deliver into rural areas that we can't.
Does having the Central Washington Hospital kitchen staff prepare the meals, volunteer drivers, does that help defray the cost so it's affordable for people to do this?
It sure does. It would be a whole lot more if we had more overhead. But yes, obviously, the less overhead that anybody has, the less cost to the recipient.
So let's one more time talk about Sunday. Again, this Sunday at Grace Lutheran Church on Washington Street, right across the street from Washington Elementary School.
Right.
Show starts at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Sunday. Isn't that when you normally rehearse, Sunday nights?
Just about.
Okay.
Yes, it works out that way.
You will notice when you go into the Grace Lutheran Church lobby, there ain't going to be anybody there with a cash register or selling tickets because it's completely by donation.
Yeah, by donation. So, and I want to stress too, if somebody just wants to come and enjoy the entertainment, that's okay too. It totally guilt-free. If you can make a donation, that's great too. If you want to do it that night, if you want to go to our website, it's easy to do it that way too. We really want to spread awareness too.
How? What's the time commitment? How long is the show going to be?
So we're planning on 6 to 8.
Okay.
So there's going to be a couple 45-minute sets by Glad Song with a 15-minute intermission. During the intermission, maybe people can wander back out to the lobby and look at a few silent auction items available.
Yeah, we got golf. Three Lakes has donated some golf. Highlander has donated some golf. Also some unique one-of-a-kind handmade items too, right?
Right, a couple quilts, couple Afghans, and a couple gift baskets.
And silent auction too. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
The live auction, people kind of go, you know. They don't.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to try that. So, yeah, again, we want to make it fun and enjoyable.
When's the next, after this Sunday, you do about 2 shows a month roughly. You never charge. It's all free. All the money goes to a worthy nonprofit. What's next for Glad Song after Sunday?
Right. I believe the next one after this Sunday will be later on in June for Vets for Vets. That's the Bunker.
That's the Bunker folks?
That's the Bunker folks. Again, all proceeds from that night will stay here local for local vets.
How you doing for drivers? For the volunteer driver, you're okay right now?
Drivers, we're in really good shape.
Okay.
Yes, we've gotten several husband and wife teams this year, so that's fun to be able to put them in the rotation too.
So you're going to raise money, and it all is going to go into the coffers. Is there any immediate need for stuff that you need right now? Is it just we need money so we can continue to charge pretty cheap for a hot lunch?
Right. So good question again. So it'll go into general operation funds for now, yes, so we can keep those milk costs down.
And of course, they'll take donations anytime. I mean, yes,
right.
Sunday night's great, but anytime you want to write Trish a check, she'll take it. She'll take it off your hands. No doubt about that. How long are you going to keep doing this? I mean, I know it's not a full-time job. You do it because you love it.
Right.
You're not getting paid squat. A little bit, but not much. How long do you want to keep doing this? Because this is your baby.
It is. I'm hoping to be able to be here a few more years.
Okay.
and then train somebody, hopefully, that has the same passion I do. But Mobile Meals will be here through the help of Confluence Health, our drivers. Right now we have a 6-person board that they're doing it voluntarily because they believe in it too.
Well, I mean, it's been going solid for 50 some odd years, so it must be working.
Yes.
I have a tremendous grasp for the obvious. And you're probably the queen of the spreadsheets, aren't you? You probably got Excel down flat, right?
Well, again, with the help of my buddy Susie Pitts, she helps me with that. But yeah, spreadsheets are big.
Tricia Blevins of Mobile Meals and Gladsong Community Choir.
Right.
Have a great show on Sunday. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Thank you. We will.
Say hi to your husband for me.
I will.
And
I might see him later.
Okay. And it's good to talk to you.
You too. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for NCW Channel for letting us be here and talking for just a few minutes. People do watch. I love it when people say, hey, I saw you and Dan the other day. It's like, yeah, good, okay. Watch Dan every morning.
Trisha's one of those people I can't say no to, so she calls, we're there. Have a good time on Sunday night, all right?
Thank you, we will. We're excited, so.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Bienvenido al Centro de Resolución de Conflictos. Brindamos servicios a los condados de Grant y Adams, ayudando a empresas y personas a resolver problemas difíciles. Ofrecemos ayuda con conflictos de trabajo, problemas residenciales y asuntos familiares. Podemos capacitar a su personal en habilidades de prevención y resolución de conflictos. Llámenos al 509-237-3705 para obtener más información.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. Native storyteller Randy Lewis will lead a tour about the history of the Columbia River on June 8th in partnership with the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Tickets and information is on the museum's website. On June 9th, the Gladsong Community Choir will hold a concert to benefit Mobile Meals of Wenatchee. It'll be at the Grace Lutheran Church at 6 p.m. Admission is by donation, and there will be a silent auction as well.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
All right, it is Winning Wednesday. One more reminder, if you want to win Harlem Globetrotter tickets for Sunday, June 16th, which, yes, is Father's Day. The Harlem Globetrotters coming to the Town Toyota Center, 3 o'clock tip-off. It is a basketball game, kind of. Send me an email, winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. That's how you enter via email, because pretty much everybody has an email address. Employees of local telecommunications, solar and broadcasting, and other media families are not eligible. Sorry, Malcolm. And it's 1 entry per email address. You can't enter like a gazillion times over and over again on the same email address. It fills up my inbox, and it's quite frankly rude. Get that out of the way. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. We're all but done with the wind. Thank you very much. I'm getting sick and tired of that. The wind will be whatever wind that we have, residual wind from the cold fronts, the 2 of them, one Monday and one yesterday. Still a little bit of wind this morning. You can tell by the camera shaking a little bit, but then the wind will be gone. We'll top off at about 78. It's about a perfect day today. Nice and sunny and warm, but not hot. 52 for the overnight low tonight. Then we get borderline hot on Thursday with a high of 87. Big ridge of high pressure is going to be building up over the region. A very warm weekend. Who's kidding who? Friday, 92. It's going to be very warm. At Leib-Off to field to the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises, so back some water. Saturday, sunshine, hot 93, slightly cooler Sunday, then we go right back up to near 90 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It is finally summertime weather. All right, that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.
We'll saddle up for a real deal roundup and branding on the Wild Ranch. You'll see the amazing work of acclaimed wagon builder Dave Engel.
Culmination of a lot of years of learning.
Plus, the native artists of the Custer Battlefield Trading Post.
Nice and slow.
And the 30th anniversary of the Quigley Shoot. It's all next on today's Wild West.
The Wild West. It's still out there. And we'll show you how to find it. This is today's Wild West.
It's an early Sunday morning in mid-June in Montana.